Welcome to my monthly The Expat Career and Lifestyle podcast. I'm Dominika and I am the founder of dmcoaching.eu, the place to be when you want to create a career you love and live the global lifestyle.
Podcast. Today I have the great pleasure to interview Gabriela Węglowska from Poland and currently living in London, UK. She is a learning and development professional with a specialisation in intercultural and soft skills training and coaching, and she is also a founder of Interiela. Today with Gabriela we are going to speak about living and working in the UK and her expat challenges. Welcome, Gabriela. I am really glad to have you here. So please tell us more about yourself and what are you doing.
Hi, Dominika. Thank you for inviting me to this interview. I'm really happy to be here and to share my expat story. Well, you introduced me so well, actually. So I'm going to add a few words about my values and personal interests. In my life, variety and growth are very important to me, as well as working in an intercultural environment and making impact on others. I love learning myself, and I love to inspire other people to learn. As far as my professional life is concerned, I work as diversity project lead at the British Council. I'm also the accredited intercultural fluency trainer. And apart from that, I'm a licensed trainer of The Advantage, which is an experiential workshop that raises your awareness of the 7 soft skills, such as adaptability, being proactive, critical thinking, empathy, integrity, optimism, and resilience. And these skills are fundamental in developing intercultural competence and are very important for expats in particular, especially when building a global career, which can be challenging.
Yeah, wow, great! What a great experience you developed through your expat years. So, what prompted you to choose UK as your host country?
I've always loved languages, and I think my interest in the English language prompted my decision to move to the UK. I was only 18 when I moved. Initially, I planned to stay just for a year. I was on an au pair program, 1-year program. But my love for adventure quickly took over and I stayed longer. I went to the university in the UK. After that, I started developing my career. And here I am, 10 years later, still living in the UK and enjoying it.
Wow, great. I also moved when I was 19 years old. I think, I finished my high school and then, I also planned to stay for 1 year and then I stayed forever.
Okay. I think that's the case. Yeah, that's the case for lots of people.
Yeah, exactly. So probably you have overcome many challenges as an expat. So what was the biggest challenge for you?
I'm a lifelong learner, so I think of my expat career as a journey and not a destination. As with every journey, you can't plan everything and you need to be ready for the unexpected. So yes, there were many ups and downs. And I think I'd like to share actually 4 biggest challenges, if we have enough time for that. I wanted to talk about something that is rejection, the network, talent, and culture. Now, why I've chose these few, I hope to explain as I go through them. So rejection is something quite normal and natural. We all do it. We all have an experience of it. Yet the fear of rejection is huge for some people. And being skilled at handling rejections is very important for your success, especially when building a career abroad. We don't usually apply for one job and get it straight away. The tendency, I think, is that we need to apply for many jobs and get through a few interviews before we receive an offer. Do you know the feeling of hopelessness when you apply for a job you really want to get and your application is rejected? I know that feeling very well. I know it could be demotivating. It can trigger a lot of negative mind chatter and self-doubt. So we need a lot of resilience and optimism. And that's something I had to work on. And believe me, over time, you can learn to quickly bounce back when you trip over an obstacle. I said that my second challenge was network. I think a good network is a powerful weapon. So what does it mean in terms of a job search? Being reactive in your job search, so applying for jobs you see in your Google search, for example, is one method. The other method is called a proactive job search. About 2/3 of the UK's jobs are accessible through networking. Now, as an expat, I didn't have that strong network in the country. It took time for me to build it. So I had to learn how to be much more proactive. So go out there, connect with people, use empathy and integrity to build deeper and stronger relationships. I had to be brave and say yes more and quickly grab any opportunity that I was able to spot for myself. I had to improvise a lot and act as if. There is a very good YouTube video called The As If Principle from Cognitive Media that explains the concept of acting as if. And the third challenge, it was talent. What do I mean by that? From what I observe, most people don't know what their talents or strengths are, especially young people. We often doubt ourselves, our abilities, and, for example, we don't apply for jobs we would like to get because we don't think we've got what it takes, because we are unclear about our skills and competencies. And there is another tricky question that not many people know how to answer. What are your values? In fact, it's not an easy question. It requires a little bit of self-reflection. But many of us are not very reflective, especially in this day and age when the life is so fast and we don't take enough time to stop and think, to notice how we feel, to check whether our brain aligns to our heart, to realize that maybe we are running in the wrong direction. I'm a great believer of purpose, and I think that people should be doing what they love, what suits their personalities and preferences. That way we are more productive, we feel happier, and happy people are more likely to define themselves as successful. So as a young expat, and if you remember, I said I moved when I was 18, just after I finished my high school, I had no work experience. There was the language barrier that I had to deal with, and so I had to find out pretty quickly what is it that I want from life. What was I good at, and what kind of personal and professional brand I wanted to build for myself.
So let's do like a little bit recap. So to overcome those 4 challenges: rejection, network, talent, and language barrier. So being resilient, being optimistic, productive, and spotting opportunities, and also getting clear about your skills and values, and building your professional brand. Those are like main steps to overcome them.
Yes, there are. There is also culture, and I think culture is a big challenge, but also a fascinating one, I would say. But when I say culture, I don't necessarily mean the British culture. I had to learn how to adapt to various culture environments. First, my au pair family, then the university, and a different education system to what I was used to, then the culture of the organizations I worked in. So as expats, the ability to quickly adapt to new people, situations, customs, or new set of rules is very important, right? Mm-hmm. I also had to redefine my own cultural identity, which through the years got influenced by all my diverse experiences. So I think self-awareness is very important here, knowing who you are, what you stand for, and where you're going.
Yeah, yes, I think so. That also, yes, self-awareness and all the tips that you shared before with us are very important to adapt and overcome the challenges that we are facing while living and working abroad. So tell us more about. So I also know that you are running a part-time business. So tell us more about it. What is the purpose of your business?
That's right. I think it all started when I discovered a book called The Advantage, written by Emma Suprince and published by Payson. It was a real eye-opener because it helped me to understand my own strengths. I signed up after for the Advantage workshop, which further transformed me into a much confident person, aware of her inner resources and how to develop, strengthen and apply them in my life. And in the end, I became a licensed trainer because I wanted to support other expats who perhaps feel stuck. And I wanted to help them to identify the skill gaps and empower them to achieve their aspirations, no matter their background or the location they live in. So that's how Interiela came about, together with my passion for intercultural competence, which is what I studied. Interiela is an intercultural and soft skills training and coaching company, which I run by myself on a small scale because I love training. And it allows me to build something I'm passionate about alongside building my career in the learning and development industry, which is equally important to me. The purpose of Interiela is to inspire intercultural learning and to support young expats to realize their full potential and develop the global mindset required for a successful life and career in the globalized world we live in. And the Advantage 7 Soft Skills Workshop is my leading offer. The workshop is based on experiential learning methods. It's highly interactive, which accelerates learning, and it also retains the knowledge. There are interesting elements of improvisation techniques, and it creates an impact because we work with what's going on in the moment and we use a lot of reflections, so the learning is personalized and very practical. I offer the workshops to expats in London in open sessions, and we also work with organizations around the world. For example, we delivered the Advantage for Nestle in India, Starbucks in Hungary, and various companies in groups in the UK. And finally, I also train as a coach, and I train on Skype or over the phone. And I work with individuals who want to develop their cross-cultural skills and competencies to operate more successfully in a globally diverse team, or to prepare themselves for a career in a new cultural environment. And I use psychometric tests to reveal your preferences, and then we work on developing what you need to develop to succeed in your goals.
Yes, I think that also like developing intercultural or cross-cultural skills are very important now in our times, let's say. So what can we do to develop those kinds of skills and also to work more on our intercultural awareness, especially now when the world is facing a quite challenging situation?
Yeah, I think it's really important, especially now, as you say. There are 5 stages in development of intercultural competence. First, researched by Dr. Milton Bennett in 1980s. I think that to develop your intercultural competence, or as some call it, the CQ, cultural intelligence, first of all, you need to learn about yourself. Knowing yourself helps to put things into perspective. It helps to see what's different and what's similar between you and other people. And it allows you to figure out how to work better together. For instance, when should you adapt and when should you be more assertive? Secondly, you need to develop the skills of critical thinking, which will help you to suspend your unconscious bias. Now, we all have our biases, it's natural. But what's more important is to be aware of our biases and to slow down our thinking when maybe we are about to pass a judgment on someone else. So think critically, I would say, and realize that your view of the world is based on your own life experiences. And these people who you meet on your path, they might have different beliefs, different opinions and perspectives. And I think finally, be curious. I think we need to develop that drive, that interest and the motivation to learn more about other cultures. Without that curiosity, I think we would all end up just living in a complete ignorance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so being curious. Yeah, this is also what I sometimes tell to my clients. To ask questions, to learn more about the culture, about the city that you are moving in. Do a little bit of research before you are moving, so you can be prepared for challenging situation. Let's say.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. So, how are you combining your 9-to-5 job and your business? What is your secret?
It's not easy, and it's not without some sacrifices. Sometimes it means long working hours and a limited social life. But I have that drive, that curiosity I was talking about earlier. Mm-hmm. So I love what I do, and it doesn't really feel like work. I also know myself, and I know that for me, everything is a priority. So what works best for me is to prioritize accordingly to the level of importance. Some people might prefer to prioritize based on the size of the task, for instance, and maybe start with the biggest one. This approach was actually very well explained in one of the Brian Tracy's book, Eat That Frog. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't really work for me. I need to work based on the level of importance, really. So knowing what works for you is important. I also need to make sure that I have time to relax and recharge my batteries. So I watch my work-life balance very carefully, and I have to plan every single day. And in my day job, I can work from home, and I do it a lot. And it's really good because it saves me a lot of time, which otherwise I would have to spend commuting.
Yeah, so you don't have to travel like every day to your job.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you can combine.
And in London, especially living in London, it saves a lot of time.
Yeah, exactly. So what can you advise to someone who is thinking about starting a business abroad?
When starting a business abroad, I think it's good to develop a strong network of contacts. And I mentioned it was one of my biggest challenge as an expat. These contacts might not all be your direct clients, but they can be the key people who lead you to your future clients, or they might be your champions who promote your business for you. I would also say ensure you know your talents. And talent was, again, I said it was my one of my biggest challenges. I think it's really important to know what you need to develop to better serve your business, your clients, and your partners. And so be open to learning, something that you mentioned earlier, that you say to your clients, Dominika. Ask tips, observe, I would say as well, and just learn from others. And finally, respect the culture rules and be attentive to what works and what doesn't work in the particular environment you operate in, or for a particular group of people you want to serve.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, building your network. This came twice in our conversation, and knowing your talents, what talents you have, and what can you improve also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's constant learning. Actually, I think it's what we all go through.
Yeah. Yes. So, what do you like most about your life in London?
I love diversity. I really like seeing all sorts of different people around me and hearing different languages. And there is always someone interesting to meet and to learn from. I also like the easy access to lots of different events, conferences, workshops, networking meetings. So I think London has a lot to offer, and I'm trying to make the most of it while I live here.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I think there are many possibilities and opportunities in London, and you have access to, like you said, to interesting events, to interesting people also. So you can make connections with different cultures in one city. So,
Yes,
yeah.
that's right. Although it can make you tired as well, the busyness of it. But I think it's 50-50 love and hate sometimes. There is so much here, but on the other side, it can be overwhelming.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, but I think this is with all cities. It's like 50-50 with all cities. I think sometimes you love the city in which you love, and sometimes you hate it. So I think it's the same. Yeah. So what are your plans for the future? Are you staying in London? Are you moving away? What are your plans?
I was actually thinking at some point, because it's my 10th anniversary of living in London this year, I was thinking that maybe I should move somewhere else and try a different life in a different culture. I usually have a lot of ideas. I don't know yet if I'm going to move or not. Right now, I'm doing a new diploma in learning and development, always learning, as I said. And you will notice that I don't have a website for Interiela. So that's something I'm working on as well. And I'm getting married in summer.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it will be a double celebration, 10 years in London and a new life.
I think so.
Wow, that's a nice news. Congratulations. So where can we find more information about you? And I know also that you have a free gift for our listeners. So if you can share a little bit about it.
Yes, you can find out more about me via my LinkedIn profile and via the Advantage social media and the Advantage website. I would say just follow the links on Dominika's podcast page for this episode that I'm going to provide. My free gift number 1 is an e-chapter of the Advantage book. In fact, the book has been translated to 8 languages and it's available in English, Mandarin, Spanish, Dutch, Italian, Czech, Arabic and Indonesian, with a special edition available for India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Pakistan and the Maldives. So that's quite a lot. Mm-hmm. And my free gift number 2 is my soft skills coaching program for expats that includes 8 coaching sessions, and it would help you to develop the competencies you need to create the ideal expat career and lifestyle you desire, based around the Advantage 7 soft skills. It will be delivered via Skype. There are only 5 spaces. There is one condition. I can offer this program only to those who will email me at interiela@outlook.com with the answer to this question. Why do you think intercultural competence is the key skill for the global workplace? Okay. I would also like to invite you to take part in my online intercultural competence development program, which includes a psychometric test followed by coaching and mentoring calls. So please email me for details. And that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for sharing. Thank you very much for telling us about your expat experience and sharing your tips and knowledge about intercultural challenges. I will put all the links and information about Gabriela, so you can contact her and claim all those fantastic gifts. Thank you very much for being with us, Gabriela. Once again, congratulations on everything. And I will be in touch with you for another fantastic interview in the future.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Dominika, and everyone for listening. I hope to hear from the listeners, and I look forward to connecting with you online. Stay curious. Bye.
Bye. Thank you very much for listening, and I will be coming with you with another guest in a few weeks' time. Thank you very much, and bye.